Okay, I think I'm gonna work on I'm gonna try to work on art because the current code that I'm writing, it I need to do testing, and I'm at the point where a bunch of blocks is no longer a thing. I need to be able to differentiate and colors and generate and see how things look and sizing and everything like that. So um so yeah. Uh it's been a long 6 hours. Um the comp ends in 22 hours. Um yeah, okay. Good. Close out of the text editor. Can make a CD, I can leave there. Creator's already open. But I'm not gonna use that file. My to-do list. I think I'm gonna check the main page and uh, um okay. I'm not tired. Okay. Um I'm gonna pull up the Discord first. Nothing new. Okay. A refresher. Take progress and natural luck. Also, I don't think I'm gonna stream to Twitch because I'm kind of still in focus mode. Uh, so I don't think it's gonna be worth uh setting that up. So maybe in 12 hours, depending on how good or bad the game is. Uh, this game is like probably one of my most overscoped games that I've done. Which does make me a little bit worried because I'm spending I'm gonna be spending a lot of time programming and in game maker figuring out how to do not just the core mechanics of what I'm trying to accomplish, right? But trying to make that all navigatable and trying to like get a higher rank in music. The art is probably gonna be a little bit less, but or like at best on par. But yeah, this is like really like the amount of assets is less. Um, like I could get away with a lot less assets. There's not a lot of like, oh, well, I guess if I manage to get to the boxes and programming all of that, then the art will get heavier. But I think for minimum, I just need kind of trees, wires, towers, player, starting background. And once I do that, I have like a minimum. That's 5 assets. Some are larger than others. And then, of course, I need all the main menu and UI, and then potential box stuff. So it can be a little bit big. I think before in previous jams, I would have had art done by now. I guess I could check in a second, but uh, Yeah, like you could tell like how like spend time by just reading titles is a struggle. A whole day of UI work from concept art to engine. This looks crazy. They iterated on stuff, which is crazy. Yeah, I think before I would have had all the art done. Whereas now I'd just be starting, and also the code is not done, and the music I'm actually a little bit behind. I can't read after about 10 hours of brainstorming and quite a few existential doubts. I should probably make this bigger as well. Still gonna be reading it. Is it even visible? Why is it so blurry? Looks blurrier than my camera. Oh no, that's just my eyes that are fading. Am I that blind? And quite a few existential doubts about what on earth we were doing. We finally found a direction we were happy with, and we're pretty excited about how it's shaping up. We don't want to spoil anything yet, but here's after about 4 hours and quite a few existential doubts about what on earth we're doing. Finally found a direction we're happy with and pretty excited about. We don't want to spoil anything just yet, but here's the most TV signal. Okay, this looks crazy. New sprites. This is no better. It was getting kind of boring. Staring at the blank shapes all the time. Hey Sam, all I need to do is add one more core mechanic, and then I can start polishing it. If I actually finish the game champion this time, here's another preview. So after a video of non-stop cutting, I got all the mechanics placed with quick ugly sprites. Now I'm going to sleep, and tomorrow will be the day to create sprites and do some music and build actual level, hopefully in time. I'm better than my sprites. Can't resist the. You got a pheromone signal finally. So. First day gone, player scene cooked. How did they do this? Why is it so long? Why is it? That's GIF? Yeah, that's 1080p 60 FPS. What the heck? It's crazy. Mm. Okay. 5. I'll work on sound modulation as well as the fictional. I'm done more today if I could get this done well with it. Adding more so I finally got the full. Okay, so full gameplay loop done. I am 30% of the way there. Hopefully, I could get that up to 50%. No, a couple hours of doing art. Apparently, everyone's doing their best work. Okay. Man, I wish I just could just put my all into it. I could make a really good game. Not this gem, but in future gems. If I just just prepared and practiced like off the gym, um then I would I think I'd have a lot more fun with it. I think the part that I'm unsure of though is as I get better, if creativity is gonna be an easier or harder thing to grasp, because it feels like um the issue why creativity seems fickle sometimes is like you're trying to give an answer without knowing the question. Um, this is just a feeling. I haven't thought this through fully, if correct or not. But if like if you were to pick from a category of things, uh, which is, have I talked about entertainment stuff? But basically, you can kind of pick out stuff pretty reliably and quickly and consistently, which is the same as reliably. But picking it out, I'm not sure if picking it out, the difference between picking it out and actually picking it out and almost like a weird type of recall. Like there's this kind of like thing the brain does where it's like it has heavy associations, like phone number, but it's kind of difficult to I'm like just bring up stuff that you kind of like you might have only heard of a word once before, like a decade ago, and you don't really know which one you want to bring up, but you just kind of get into the rhythm and practice of bringing up words, and you end up just doing it easier and easier, and your brain learns like, okay, this is a mode where I bring up something completely random. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure if there is kind of a way to go from that where you're relying on the brain to do the picking versus you present the brain with the category, and that is there's there's memory stuff uh in order to be able to make categories that big, but and it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, which I will do. One bar, a conceptual experiment. One bar is a one shot signal ritual. You get one transmission, that's it. Your location becomes your score. You move. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. You move, you search, you try to find a better spot, then you stop, you hold still, and you commit. The idea was to make something that feels a bit physical and a bit tensed. I'm muting so that way I can turn on my mic because I'm speaking pretty quietly. I turn on my mic a bit. Just a little bit. So and I don't have to hear a hum because I hear the unfiltered audio, which includes background noise. Okay, kind of I'm a little blind here. Um, I really like this monitor, by the way. Uh, at first I was like, uh, well, not at first, like up until like pretty recently, especially with this kind of like actually solid monitor stand that can actually hold weight and has tilt. Uh, play with the adjustments, and I I haven't scaled it because I just kind of wanted, you know, something to a certain size, things a certain size, and I want to actually use all the pixels in the space. Uh, I don't want it to feel like a just slightly crisper, lower res monitor. I want it to feel like uh like to its fullest extent, to its highest resolution. But uh even though it's pretty big, uh it's a really high PPI. So the uh I'd have to get really close in order to see stuff. But then like that's just like the eyes can get uh a little like front and back fatigue, especially after like full days on it. Depending. Um, but so like even though I'd love to be like a really close in, it's just it's just it's just never gonna be like that. I don't think. Uh, it uh so if it has to be like a couple inches further back, and it's kind of a little bit small, then just a hair of scaling. So like 125% makes it good because I it's a pretty big monitor. I feel like I got a lot of screen real estate still, but also in individual applications like whether it be a video playing or my OBS or drawing or uh, having a bunch of applications open or like text and Discord text in the whole application or just everything, even though they're in like smaller windows, they're very clear and Um, it's like it's like having bezel-less monitors, except you can resize them all and place them wherever. It's a little bit of that feeling. Just a lot of bezel-less monitors. Like you want something in the top right, but it's still clear, and you can just drag it back down if you want it in front of you, so you don't just look a little bit or stay looking for a while. And yeah, because I don't know, even when I was a kid, having two monitors was the best because um, you're not doing one thing on a computer. You're doing multiple things. So putting stuff to that second monitor is good. But it's a second monitor, so it's gonna be pretty far away. There's gonna be like a big chunk of space between the two monitors. And if you ever want to focus on the other monitor, it's you're better off just bringing it back to the main monitor. Whereas this, it's like having six monitors, except you can just take a peek at the other side and take a peek back at the middle, even though it's a small window. It's big enough physically, and it is clear. But maybe maybe it'll be a while before this is like uh, an actual method of doing things, because this monitor, it's good for productivity, game development, uh, a whole bunch of stuff, but it's 60 FPS, so I swap monitors to play games. That's the trade-off. It's gonna be data cables and actually getting screen reses higher than I don't know, 4K common. I don't know how common 4K is. 1440p. You could probably get higher refresh rates there. You have a bit of extra screen space. I have those are 1440. Um, um, yeah, I don't think there's any 4K 240 that are not like. I think Samsung had the ultra wide, but my main thing is uh, the cables and the compatibility. So, especially since I do GPU pass through stuff and a bunch of weird stuff, having stuff that just will work on a toaster is pretty important. So, preferably if we can get high resolution and high frame rates while still having one cable from monitor to GPU, then that's kind of like the the limit. Okay. Um one you move once I'm done with this, I'm actually gonna stop and actually take like an hour break. Hopefully I don't completely fall asleep, but I do need to rest and then come back. What I'll do is I'll rest for an hour, come back, uh, have have one of these, and do a little bit of the starting art, sketching, and kind of thinking about like I'll block out some sketches, and I'll really try to think of the details. Um, and once it gets to a point where it's kind of just lines, then uh, I'll I'll once it gets to once it gets to lines, once it gets to lines, I'll start stream back up, and I'll also see who's also streaming ludum there. Um, so let me finish reading through this stuff. Echolocation game. Oh, this is good. There's a post earlier doing lighter, right? Or was that? There's always a lighter game, and it's always the coolest stuff ever. Number station. Okay, this is the closest someone's. Well, not really. This is in a city, not a forest. Okay, we're done. So It's less than an hour, but I could do. I will try my best to create 76, 80, 4, 43, 20. I gotta memorize these. I was not paying attention. But save as. Man, worried my XP pen tablet's getting old. But it's really good. Um, okay, I'll be back. I don't even think I have the player movement tuned or anything like that. Well, of course not, because I don't have the images, but still. And I still haven't come up with a name yet. I guess I could think about that during the hour break. So okay. Until next time, I guess.